Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me once again, screaming into the void of the internet, man. My freaking eye is wrecking me because I think it's just like the freaking fatigue. So it's freaking irritating, but whatever. I wanted to go ahead and get to it because it's closing. So while I wait on my ride, I'm just over here making the video. I'm going to talk about three things. One, the follow up to that video that was an update I made. Another is going to be the thing about Kanye with that song that he made. And last but not least, spending money to make money. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I won't spend too much long on this one because, I mentioned it a bit, but it was like an emotional rant because I was pissed. What the? Okay, I think that was just a piece of paper. Crap, sounded like a hornet or something. That's why I had to turn around. Essentially what was going on was, like I mentioned, we're rooming right now. And the people that we're staying with, long story short, they're cool. But, like, the people that we brought with us, like the freaking chicks that I mentioned, and, like, the females, and, like, the freaking daughter, one of her daughters, has been flirting with me and crap like that, especially because I got money now that I'm working and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. But I'm talking about them in particular. They've been, like, basically talking to the freaking chick that we're, like, rooming with right now. Like, we should spend more money because we have 2 rooms. Because, stuff 4 people, a husband and a wife and, like, 2 kids in the same room. Like, yeah, that's cool. So, like, no privacy at all. Like, that makes sense, right? So, they freaking did that, right? They do that, and for some reason, the freaking person that we're staying with, they buy into that. And they just straight up go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And like I said, I don't mind paying the rent. Because I know I mentioned this in the last video. I paid the rent, right? I paid the rent. Problem is, again, my folks, for example, and I don't make excuses for them, but I already know that it ain't freaking easy. It ain't easy, like, with a freaking try and get a job out here. It took me 2 months to get this one. Like, if you guys were listening and whatnot. Like, it took me 2 months to get this one. So, like, the moment that they got their freaking thing repossessed, like, that put a massive wrench in their ability to search effectively. So, I don't really know why they bought into it, other than the fact that, like I mentioned in the last video, they're freaking women, and women are so easy to manipulate, it's not even freaking funny. So, yeah. So, long story short, about 2 or 3 paychecks, I'm going to try and get up out of here and get a room somewhere. I'm looking at a place that's, like, basically in the same zip code because I'm trying to stay close to this job. I really do not want to move farther or not because, like I said, I calculated how many, like, according to, like, my Uber and how many trips it's taken to, like, get to work and the distance. Dude, I'm spending, like, a freaking, like, basically over half my check just on freaking trips. Just on trips. So it's freaking wild, but we got to do what we got to do, right? Now, I kind of want to talk about, I guess, like, the second point that I wanted to make, spending money to make money, right? People have no idea how accurate that is, because people are like, oh, well, if you get, like, a freaking car, then, that saves the gas. Not gas, but that saves, like, the freaking taxi money with Uber and stuff like that. But then it just opens up a whole bunch of other crap, because then you've got the car note if, you're trying to own, right? Unless you could buy it all at once. And if you could buy it all at once, then, good. Try and get, like, a cheap car. That's what I recommend. But, cheap cars come with their own problems. It's cheap for a reason, so, be aware of that. So it comes with its own problems if you're trying to just get a car, because you got the car note, you got the freaking gas, you got the maintenance for the car, tires and stuff like that. Like, you have to maintain that stuff. If you don't maintain it, then it's going to cost you more money. Like, if you freaking blew a tire on the road and you got roadside assistance or something, that's a whole bunch of crap, so it's not like it's some easy freaking fix solution. Like, people don't really understand, like, this spending money to make money. It's such a stupid concept, money as a whole, this arbitrary freaking construct that has no real value. And it's completely dominated this world. And it's going to kind of tie into, like, one of the things that I'm going to mention, about Kanye. But I'll go ahead and finish. Like, it has no real value, but, like, people think that it does. And listen, for anyone saying that that's not true and all that crap, if you want to blow that smoke up your arse all day, let me tell you something right now, man. In every freaking natural disaster setting, whether it was a hurricane or, like, a freaking earthquake, when, like, people got desperate, guess what they started doing? They started raiding food, water, shelter, like... Because guess what? That's what actually has value. Money became worthless. Everyone just started just robbing and stuff because they needed to do what they needed to do to survive. They weren't hoarding money. Some dumb arses were, but listen, for the most part, they was looking at them stupid because they're like, hey, listen, go ahead and hoard them diamonds and crap like that, but that ain't gonna feed you. That ain't gonna clothe you. You know? Because, listen, when push comes to shove, let's say that society, like, gets into a position where it's just a blackout or something like that. The thing that you're gonna want to trade with is resources. Period, point blank. Resources. Ammunition, you know, freaking water, food, stuff like that. That's what's gonna clothes. That's what's gonna matter. Not freaking money, not freaking paper, not gold. Assets, always gonna matter. And if you don't believe that, then please explain to me why freaking celebrities buy land. Buy land in bigger bulk than anything else. You know, good old Bill Gates, right? That nibble. Biggest owner of farmland in America now. Just saying. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop that and get to another point, right? Another point. I thought this video was gonna be a lot longer than, you know, than it's actually going, but it's flowing pretty fast right now, so whatever. Okay. Kanye. Listen, I don't follow artists, I don't follow rappers, I don't follow, like, celebrities and stuff like that, but holy cow, this crap with Kanye, I have to talk about this, because I think that this is important, right? As I take a sip of this real quick. And I know I mention it a lot, but I really do think it's so irritating that my only choice, drink-wise, is, like, freaking processed, just filtered garbage, lemonade, you know, and or like just soft drinks, but whatever, I'm not gonna keep, you know, whining about that, right? Essentially, Kanye makes this freaking new song, you know, and I'm not gonna mention the name because freaking cucktube, but it got banned everywhere, and I'm like, you know, didn't that just prove his point? Because here's my thing, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and mention this, and I'm sorry if you guys hear these sirens, but there was a freaking fire, apparently, like, there was a car crash, it hit the tree, and there was a fire, like, so, yeah, like, they've still been here the whole time, they're investigating, I guess, to try and see, like, you know, what caused it. I don't know if anyone's dead or anything, but, yeah, I'm just here. So, if you hear all these sirens, then that's what it is. Continuing on, right? Continuing on. He makes this music video, essentially saying, you know, hail mustache man, right? But when you listen to, like, some of the lyrics, it's like, I don't blame him for coming to those kinds of conclusions. Because here's my thing, right? I don't give a rat's arse if someone's going to say that this is phobic or bigoted or antiseptic, if you catch my drift, because I'm not going to say the word, antiseptic, right? Here's my question. Why is it that there are certain groups that we're not allowed to criticize? Now, mind you, certain groups can get marginalized and everyone accepts it. For example, Europeans in general, right now, white people, are being blamed for everything. Consistently, right? But you can't call that, like, say, anti-European, anti-white. You can't say anything, right? Yet there's so many words for being phobic. You're being homophobic, right? You're being antiseptic. You know? You're being anti-this, anti-that. Bigoted. Misogynistic. All these words, right? However, they don't mind blaming white people. But everyone else has some kind of, like, protection on them, right? Nibbas, Blizzax. Oh, you're being racist, right? But here's my question. When you lose the ability to criticize a group, that would imply that that group is infallible, right? It has to be, right? You know, you might be saying, oh, you're just putting words in people's mouths. No. If you can't criticize the group, then the group doesn't do anything wrong. That's at least the, obviously, you know, the hope, right? That they aren't doing anything wrong. But what kind of idiot actually believes that? Do we live in a world where just because you can't criticize someone, that means that they aren't doing anything wrong? How many kingdoms and stuff like that made it seem like, okay, we're going to make it illegal for you to talk about this king, or you're going to get your head chopped off, but wasn't that king doing some effed up stuff? Okay, does that stop anything going on with, like, say, your good old politicians and stuff like that? That doesn't stop them. Listen, everyone's favorite year, and this is what I talk about. I'm telling you, this was my favorite year too, because I saw it in real time, how easy people are to manipulate, just how sheeple they really are. Saw it in real time. 2020, right? 2020. Sitting there, 2020. Oh, don't meet up. Don't do this. Don't do that. These cocksuckers are consistently caught partying. sometimes having orgies. And these the mofos that y'all are listening to about don't do this, don't do that, the safety, and all that bullcrap. And even when they're caught, you cocksuckers just still chose to listen to them. Not you guys, okay? I'm just saying, like, the people sitting around here, like, buying into this whole, oh, don't talk about this group, don't talk about that group, you know? Just do what they say. I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that at all. Everyone is susceptible to criticism. Every group, you know, man, woman, and child, whatever. You are susceptible, and you should remain susceptible to criticism. The moment that you start taking people out of the equation, taking groups out of the equation, saying that you aren't supposed to criticize this group, blah, 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 that just means that those people say, oh, so I can get away with this. I can keep doing this, right? Think about it. I can't name anything that I really just despise that isn't taking advantage of this. Good old fee-fails, right? You know? You don't think that they take advantage consistently of the fact that the law favors them? You don't think that? You don't think that these good old antiseptics, those cocksuckers, the little tiny hat people, you think these mofos don't take advantage of the fact that you're not supposed to criticize them? And listen, this is specifically about, like, the freaking globalist cocksuckers, okay? Let's just be real for a minute. I don't really give a rat's arse about the freaking Orthodox person just going and practicing their religion and whatnot, doing whatever they're doing. I don't really mind, okay? What I do mind, however, okay, is the mofo over here infiltrating countries and crap like that. And then when they get called out, you're just being septic. Don't be anti-septic. No. None of that. That's bullcrap, okay? People deserve to be called out, especially when they're doing effed up stuff. And no matter how much you might want to disagree with that, no matter how much you might want to say that that's not fair, I could give a rat's arse, okay? I could give a rat's arse. Call them out. Whether they're tiny hat people, whether they're fagots, let's beans, right? Fee-fails. No matter who they are, call them out. Period. Point blank. You can disagree with this till you blue in the face. I don't really care.
See what happened?
Nah. Like, I'm just waiting on my ride, man. I have no clue why people are so... Someone literally just stopped because they're trying to investigate, like, what's going on here. And I'm just like, listen, dude, if you're driving around at this point, like, shouldn't you just be heading home or something? Like, yeah. Yes, an accident happened, but, like, it's not worth stopping and just trying to see everything that's going on unless you're actually a freaking cop, you know? But going back to my freaking point, like, groups deserve to be criticized, you know, period. If they're doing something effed up, criticize them. You know, do you guys remember, I don't know if I mentioned this, but there was like a freaking, San Francisco Fagot choir that made a song saying that we're coming for your children, right? And when people criticized it, they were trying to say, oh, they're just being phobic, right? But then everyone started digging through the freaking internet, and they found out, hold up. These mofos, right? These are convicted, half of them, convicted actual diddlers. And then you want to know what happened? Those freaking cocksuckers tried to delete the video, and then some of the people that made videos responding to them and defending them, they deleted the videos. It was a wholesome song, and people just... Listen, if you got the nuts to do something like that, you stand by your decision. Accept your mistake, accept the L, and move forward. No one's asking you to come over to my side or something like that, but, you know, accept the L and move forward. Simple as that. But, you know, people just don't want to take the L. They want to just try and convince themselves that no matter what, it's fine, and we should just forget when they made a mistake. No. That's why you keep criticizing. That's why you keep your memory. And in today's day and age, you don't need memory. You got the evidence. Go ahead and record, buddy. You got a camera? Get to recording. You know? Make little archives. Know who's saying this crap. People deserve to face penance. Period. Especially when they're doing effed up stuff. Fact of the matter is, the reason that this Kanye stuff is so powerful is because it just proved his point. A group of people that you can't criticize, that have more benefits than you, whether or not someone wants to admit it, is irrelevant. I don't know why all these suckers are driving through this area. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. They crashed. It is what it is. Call it a day. But that's just the truth, man. And I'm just at the opinion, personally, I'm at the perspective where I just don't care, you know? I don't care. I don't care if someone wants to call me bigoted. I don't care if they want to call me phobic, septic, all kinds of bullcrap. I'm going to call out BS. I don't care if it's the church. I don't care if it's, Blizzax. I don't care what kind of group it is. Fugots, let's beans, Tiny hat people. Whatever. Nibbas. Whatever. I'm calling them out. I see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. Sorry, not sorry. If that means I'm talking about a group that people want to say, oh, but that's your people. No, that's not my people. My people are people mentally. That doesn't mean that they think like me and they agree with me on every single thing, but can they handle a perspective that is not their own? If so, yeah, I'll say that maybe you're my people. But that goes deeper than freaking skin tone and all this bullcrap. Don't think that just because some cocksucker looks like you, that means they got your best interests. Trust me, I'm speaking from personal experience. Nobody in the freaking ratchet community has my best interests at heart. Okay? What they want me to do is do some stupid crap, join some gangs, get chicks pregnant, don't talk eloquently, only say the words nigga, 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 and like 25 cuss words in a sentence, but somehow not use a single word that ends in maybe like 7 letters. You know what I mean? Like, it all has to be just like very like one syllable kind of talk all the time with them. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good on that. So yeah, I think that this song that Kanye did, I get it. And when you really listen to it, it just proves his point. A freaking multi-millionaire, if not billionaire at this point, I don't know, I don't keep up, right? He got screwed out of seeing his kids. And who is behind divorce? Who is behind a lot of the laws that were made in this country? You do your research. I'm not even going to say the word because, I'm septic, right? So, I'm septic. But when you do your research on like a lot of the laws in this country, I'm just saying it all ties back. Because this country's law system is built around one thing. And it ain't justice. It's money, partner. It's money. And if something sounds stupid, someone's making money. It is what it is, right? So yeah, that song, man. I think it really ties in. And it just proves his point. Banned worldwide. And for what? And for what? Because I'm just being honest, we can sing songs about like murdering people. That's what happens in the freaking ratchet hip-hop community consistently. Oh, I screwed my friend's bitch. That's what you call him, right? I screwed his bitch and stuff like that, right? I shot that nigga. And that's what you hear. Yet, if somebody's saying hell mustache man, oh no, that's where we draw the line. Glorifying crime? That's fine. But you have a mustache man, he killed on the Mabel. Okay. Did it say why it led up to that? Remember, I say this quite frequently. I look at the steps A to Y. You're looking at Z. I want to know A to Y. I think it's very interesting that Y is the second to last letter of the alphabet, don't you? But hey, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, boys, and went on my ride. Thank you guys for listening. God bless as usual. I will see you guys next time.